Tacloban developed from a small fishing village in a barrio of Basay, Samar. The word Tacloban evolved from Taclob, a base-like contraption for catching fish. It became a major trading town in the late 18th century. The city is well known for its role in World War II, being a major base for the U.S. forces and the first time liberated by Douglas MacArthur's forces from the Japanese Imperial Forces. For a time, it served as the capital of the Philippines while Manila was under the Japanese control. For several decades, Tacloban was a barrio of Basay, Samar. At that time, the place was known as Can Cabatok, meaning belonging to Cabatok, because its most prominent inhabitant was named Cabatok. The change of name came about in this manner. Can Cabatok was a favorite hunt for fishermen. They would use a bamboo tray called taclob to catch crabs or shrimps. When asked when they were going, the fishermen would answer, to Tacloban, which meant the place where they used taclob to catch crabs. Later, the name was shortened to Tacloban. It is not definitely known when Tacloban became a municipality because records supporting this fact were destroyed during a typhoon. It is commonly believed that Tacloban was officially proclaimed a municipality in 1770. Others, however, maintain that it was in 1669, during which time there was a reign of ashes. It was the Augustinian mission, followed by the Franciscans, who sparked the people's interest in religious activities. Within a year time, the first church was built with two lofty belfries, under the untiring effort of Fray Anicito Corral. Carigara was the capital of Leyte at that time. Don Hipolito Gonzalez incumbency as alcalde mayor of the province, a popular clamor for transfer of the seat of the province came up. Thus, on October 5, 1774, after the construction of the Casa Real and the prison, the transfer of the seat of the provincial government was officially approved. In the year 1824, however, Don Pedro Antonio became alcalde mayor and restored Carigara as the provincial capital on March 31, 1824. This enhanced bitter disputes. It was finally Don Seferino Fernandez, alcalde mayor in 1827, who succeeded in pacifying the controversy. The final approval for making Tacloban the capital province of Leyte came on February 16, 1830. The decisive reason for choosing it as capital were: 1. It had the ideal location of the port area, and 2. The place was well sheltered and adequate. The Santo Niño Shrine is one of the 29 presidential rest houses that the late President Ferdinand Marcos had built. It was built for his wife Imelda Marcos, who was born in Tacloban. It is considered the #1 tourist spot in Tacloban because of its association with Imelda. A chapel dominates the ground floor with the image of Santo Niño as focal point. Elevated by 2 or 3 steps, the first floor are 13 guest rooms, each with varied motifs representing the different regions of the country. On the second floor is a very spacious ballroom, as well as the bedchambers of the former first family. Inside the mansion, you can find some collections of paintings of historical events in Leyte. The shrine was also a place during Marcos' regime, with Olympic-sized swimming pool, state dining rooms, about 13 guest rooms, and private bedrooms for Imelda, Ferdinand, and their children. Imelda's bathroom was luxurious and larger than many Filipino homes. The place was filled with antique ceramics, pottery, and collectibles. Imelda stayed there only once. On the steps of Capitol Building of Leyte was formally installed October 23, 1944, Senor Osmeña as President of the Commonwealth of the Philippines by General Douglas MacArthur in the presence of the cabinet men, liberation forces, and many other grateful people. Henceforth, until February 27, 1945, this edifice served as the Capitol building of the Philippines. The longest and most beautiful designed bridge in the Philippines, picture-side San Juanico Strait with 1,000 whirlpools, lovely eyesight, and picture-side views. The San Juanico Bridge connects the islands of Leyte and Samar. Even though the bridge is on the very edge of Tacloban city limits, it is considered to be one of the city's most prominent landmarks. A sturdy mansion where General MacArthur put up his official headquarters and residence during the liberation of the Philippines in 1944. MacArthur stayed for 3 months at the spacious Price Mansion, an American colonial house built in 1910 by American businessman Walter Price. Here, the general escaped injury when a Japanese bomb penetrated the roof over his room but failed to explode. The building suffered a direct hit from a bomb dropped by a Japanese warplane. The hole left by that attack can still be seen. Tacloban City Hall, seat of the city government of Tacloban since June 12, 1952. Overview of Tacloban City, Cancabato Bay, San Pedro Bay, San Juanico Strait, Catasian Point, and Summer Island, surrounding Philippine-Japan Peace Memorial markers. This is a site where the liberation forces, led by General Douglas MacArthur and President Sergio Osmeña, landed during their return to the Philippines, together with the Philippine and American military forces, after a period of exile in 1944. Making good for his famous promise, "I shall return," he did make a comeback to redeem the Philippines from the Japanese imperial forces during the World War II. A monument marking where the liberation forces led by General Douglas MacArthur and President Sergio Osmeña landed on October 20, 1944 at Palo Red Beach. The Statues of the Liberators Island, 1.5 times bigger than life-size. The annual Leyte Landing anniversary is being celebrated on October 20th every year. The Redonia residence in T. Claudio Street is one of the remaining houses built in the turn of 19th century. It is a showcase of Filipino craftsmanship and architecture. This historic mansion is in need of serious restoration for the legacy of historical architecture. It was the official residence of President Sergio Osmeña Sr. in 1944. When Leyte was the seat of the Philippine government during the liberation from the Japanese campaign until Philippine Commonwealth was re-established in Manila. An imposing neoclassic structure along Real Street, Tacloban City, People Center is a huge social hall space in the ground floor and a library on the second floor. It has a huge collection of historical documents recording the rich culture heritage of the people of Samar and Leyte. A collection of dioramas of 82 ethnic tribes of the Philippines. A collection of books on the humanities and reading rooms. Serious bibliophiles and curators may be dismayed by the condition of the books. Numerous antique tables and chairs along the hallways for ordinary library use. An exciting race of the one-man native sailboats with outriggers locally called Sabiran along scenic and historic Leyte Gulf. The race is done without using a paddle but only skills and techniques to maneuver the sail. The feast of Santo Niño, the revered patron saint of Tacloban, is celebrated with a pageant reinciting the historical exchange of images between Barrio Buscada of Basay, Samar, and Sitio Cancabato, now Tacloban City. The Basay flotilla, bearing the church of the government leaders, goes into a fluvial procession along San Pedro Bay. A budyong call announces the site of the flotilla of Cancabato Bay. A dance festival of patent dancers celebrating important events like exploits of war, nature worship, and narrative dance movements, dissecting their own folk practices and beliefs. The costume of tattooing earned from the Leyteños the name of pintados, from the ancient history, Roman conquest, mentioned tattooed people in Biriton, Satans, Oriental, Tartar, and other parts of the world. It is an archaic Waray word which means the herald, the news. The Sangyao festival was created by the former First Lady Imelda Marcos in the 80s. The festival has been revived in 2008 by her nephew and city mayor Alfred Romualdez. The Sangyao festival invites contingents of different performing groups in various festivals in the country to compete in this side of the region. Huge cash prizes and trophies are at stake as the festival grooms itself to be the big festival to watch out in the succeeding years. It is made in the town of Dagami. It is made of talyan, a root crop similar to gabi, coconut milk, and sugar. It is called binagol because the mixture is placed inside a coconut shell called bagol and steamed inside. We love the sweet surprise hidden at the bottom of the coconut shell. It's a suman with chocolate flavor. It is made of ground rice cooked in coconut milk and flavored with cocoa. It is smooth like a bod kabog. Just imagine a suman dipped in a chocolate batirol, our favorite. It is less popular among the pasalubong delicacies. It is similar to binagol but is made of cassava, gabi, or sweet potatoes. It is cooked with coconut cream, sugar, and sometimes coconut meat.